Hey everybody, this is Dr. Flight. I hope you are doing fantastic. This is an update or a review for week number 5 in MBA 631. So again, I hope you're doing great. We're moving right through the semester. After this week, we're about a third of the way through, so that's pretty amazing. It seems like we just started, so I hope that everybody's in a good routine and everybody is feels confident about what's going on in the course and kind of where we are and what we're doing. We just finished up week 4, which is our first stage of the project. So that project stage will be due this week. And I know your groups are all working hard on that. I have met with most of the groups, and again, that's what I'm here for in terms of a resource to help you if you to help you understand the project or clarify or help you brainstorm. All those things are things that I can help you with. So I'm excited to read what you do on that. And again, that's what's the deliverable is for this week. You'll remember last week we did not add any content. We didn't have another chapter of material. The week was devoted entirely to your projects. So this week, that's the one thing that's due. Now, we do jump into new material, of course, this week. This will be chapter 4 for our week 5 material. And this chapter is all about the customer, and the text is generally written around market research and how we research elements that are associated with the customer. So one of the challenges here is I really like to focus on the managerial impact and the strategic impact of what we do. So rather than focusing on how to do research, what I want to focus on are some of the outcomes of doing research specifically related to the customer and the customer specifically. So there's 4 or 5 different videos on different topics associated with the customer and some data that we use and some methods. Two things that are going to jump out at you really quick. One will be something called a customer journey map, and it's one of these things that it's a technique that's used to measure with data people's customers' progression or relationship with our brand as they make a purchase and as they interact with elements that we deliver and interact with the customer. And each time we have an interaction, we have a touch point, and there are opportunities for the customer to be delighted or to experience difficulty. And so that's what we want to measure through the journey. We want to understand where the customer, where successes are happening with the customer experience, but then we also want to know where there are what we call pain points associated with the experience too, so that we can improve on those. So the journey map is an important tool that's used today. And again, it's an outcome of research that we do with consumers. And so that's one reason why I want to mention it. The second big thing that you'll see this week is an emphasis on something called customer lifetime value. And this is a calculation that we make and that we use to try to ascertain how much a customer is worth in dollars to us over the lifetime that the customer spends with us as a customer. And this is super important when we start to think about like acquiring new customers. Is it worth it to spend money to acquire new customers? What we do as far as gaining customer, the value, getting their value up, and all those types of things. So customer lifetime value, again, a key concept that's going on here. One of the videos just talks about different ways we do research, different things we do in research. So it's just kind of a variety of topics, but associated with my hope is to apply some of these concepts to managerial aspects and things that we're doing. Certainly the use of machine learning and deep learning systems is heavily embedded in this process. Certainly, customer relationship management (CRM) programs, which again is another topic touched on in this material this week. It's heavily AI driven, big data driven, really, which now has turned into AI driven mechanisms using big data as the learning tool or learning system. So so the thing I want to also highlight, the reflection this week then kind of leapfrogs off of this idea of managing and understanding and learning the customer, doing research on the customer and new technologies. And specifically, we want to talk about something called a synthetic customer. So the synthetic customer is a customer that's been created by using huge volumes of data, and it's like a customer profile that has been artificially generated to reflect customers. And then what we can do upon that is we can do research on a synthetic customer to try to understand how that customer will act and behave and react and some things like that. So with that in mind, we're really kind of pushing the technological edge. Companies are using some of this technology. It's very new. It's not in your textbook. It's not something we're going to teach for a number of years just because it's too new and too evolving. But it's something that you need to know, just as you're entering, the new world of work and kind of what to expect if you're in a company that has access to big data, or you're purchasing data, or you have a lot of transaction data. Then almost certainly you're going to be using some type of machine learning process to organize and to function and to kind of capitalize on what the customers should be and are, and things like that. So it's an exciting kind of concept, but bear with me in the fact that this is all new. So there's a lot of learning going on and a lot of processing because this technology is evolving a lot. So this week's reflection then deals specifically with this concept of a synthetic customer. And again, it'll be a lot of new material for you. Just I want you to stretch and think a little bit differently in terms of how this is going to benefit us moving forward. Otherwise, again, we have a reflection this week. If you'll look at we'll have some questions here. I just want to note that you all turned in the content reviews for chapter 1, 2, and 3. Those were one question for each chapter. I'm in the process of grading those, but they're going to take a little while because it's a big assignment, and I want to make sure that I'm getting a good read on each one of those. So I'm just prefacing this a little bit. It may take most of the week for me to get that done, but I am in the process of doing that. And of course, I know you have your group projects that'll be turned in. On those group projects, remember, all you need to do is turn in one per group. It doesn't have to be turned in by each member. Just one per group is fine. Again, I hope you're reaching out to me if you have any questions regarding that. I'm happy to help in any way possible. So again, this is our weekly material. If we jump over to Moodle, we look at reflection 4. There are 3 synthetic customer articles that I think are worth looking at and incorporating as you learn what this is. So again, I want you to pick up this new concept. I want you to write on this new concept and really internalize what you think the role of machine learning and augmented systems are going to augmented data really is going to look like. Years ago, we might have looked at this as a simulated, like a model simulation. When we simulate data, we create data from some set that we already have, and we run tests on it. So simulations are done in research all the time. This is like a new form of simulation where the sim is created based on how the system learns from customer data and customers that we have to create new customer profiles. So it's really interesting stuff. I think it's really kind of cool to have, and that'll be the reflection due next week on the 18th. That'll be that next thing that's due. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, I hope you're finding everything okay. I'm excited to see your work. I continue to be excited. I think we're well on the way in the term. And again, bear with me a little bit on those content reviews. They're going to take a little time for me to, again, read and get through. I've done some of that work already, turned it in on Friday, I think. Maybe something like that. And so anyways, they're coming along. And again, reach out if you have any questions. Thanks.